All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, HaKadosh. Double honors to elders and apostles, great Muslim, never well, peace and blessings to the elect of Israel. Shalom and above all. Back it on the left through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, Lord. Video is edifying, right? So, hey, without further ado, this is another edition of Current Events. Okay, and I got a lot of different things that I want to touch on. All right. So through the spirit, we're just gonna get right into it. All right. Bear with me about the show. All right, let's go ahead and start with this one. All right, now I don't own this video. I don't have any rights to this video. I'm not making any money off this video. All right, no, I'm not making any monetary gain from this video. All right, this is strictly for educational purposes. All right, and this is from Full Spectrum Survival. All right, you can check them out on YouTube. Pretty informative videos. All right, but the reason why I'm bringing this out is because this is just further backing up biblical prophecy. All right, so let's go ahead and play this.
Never seen anything like this in my life, and I'm sure I've never seen anything like this in my life, and I'm sure that many of you have never seen this either. We are experiencing right now a time of hardship for so many of our brothers and sisters across the country and across the world. And the sad part is, this is just the beginning. There is a breaking point, the tension point in every line, in every cord, and even the strongest metal chains that hold up the world's biggest anchors, they will break at some point in time. And that is what we are seeing with cohesion in the United States of America, with people's ability to be nice to each other, to be cordial to each other. That's what we're seeing with people's
cordialness, being cordial to each other, right? All right, well, guess what? How should I say in Matthew 24? All right, and I've myself noticed this lately, how it's just been in the air, all right, or in the spirit lately, where people just are not as friendly as they used to be. I'm not saying that you get to go down and bow down and worship at somebody's feet when you see them, but even a simple hello is like pulling teeth nowadays, man. Matthew 24, starting at verse Matthew chapter 24, starting at verse 12, it says, "And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold," man. And we're going to see that happening more and more as these days go by. The love of many is going to wax cold, even worse and worse, man. All right, these people are not as friendly as they used to be. That's the love of many waxing cold, okay? And you're going to see that, especially during the times of Jacob's trouble, man, okay? Let's see, I got a precept real quick. All right, because in these times, man, your friends are going to be fighting against you like enemies in these times. Scripture says, "Man's foe shall be there of his own household," man. These are the times that we're coming into. All right. This is, let's see. This is 2 Ezra 5, starting at verse 1. "Nevertheless, as concerning the tokens, behold, the days shall come. The day which dwell upon earth shall be taken in a great number," meaning you're going to have a lot of people dying. "And the way of truth shall be hidden," going into how, the truth has been hidden, but it's being revealed now through the Lord's saints, all right? But as well, it's going to be hidden again because the famine of the word is coming. It says, "And the land shall be barren of faith," and that's what you're going to see as we increase in these times of trouble. Verse 2, "But iniquity shall be increased above that which thou now seest, or that thou hast heard long ago." Right. "Iniquity shall abound, love of many shall wax cold." All right. Now I'm going to skip down to verse 9. It says, "And salt water shall be found in the sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another, and then shall wit and understanding with thoughts of secret chamber." So the point that I want to touch was all friends destroying one another, man. All right. That's what you're going to be seeing lately. Okay. It also says in 2 Ezra, the 6th chapter, and verse 24, it says, "And at that time At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. And the springs of fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. All right. As well in 2nd Ezra 15. 2nd Ezra 15, starting at verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And that's uproars of the people. All right, it says, a man shall not desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the house shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So grown-ass men going to be afraid in these upcoming times. How much more are you women who are out of order, man? Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their house with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation, man. Yeah, these are the times that we're coming into, man. Okay? We're coming into some perilous times, man. Let's see something real quick. This is Isaiah 19 and 2. It says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. That's right, man. All right, because the Lord, he's creating enmity within this place, man, because that's the telltale sign that this country is going down. All right, because this nation is truly divided. All right, it's no longer the United States of America. It's now the divided states of America, man. All right, Zechariah 8 and 10. For before these days, there was no hire for man, nor any hire for beast, going into what? Lack of jobs, also famine. Okay. Neither was there any peace to him that went out or came in because of the affliction. For I set all men, everyone against his neighbor, man. And that's what's coming, man. All right. That's exactly what you're going to see coming. All right. Everyone being set against their neighbor. Okay.
Humans' willingness to go along with the chains of servitude that were the last 100 years. Right now, economists and non-government researchers are warning that we are at that breaking point in the United States of America. They're saying for minimum wage workers, these are the foundation class workers in our country. I say foundation class because they build and make the foundation that the rest of the economy sits on.
Pretty much he's talking about Jake, okay? Because Jake is the foundation class of this society, so to speak, man. Israel is the one who built up this nation, man. All right, and it's still keeping it alive through the spirit of our Yahweh Shemel Shai. All right, if you had every Jake who went on strike, let's just say hypothetically, every Jake, every last Jake who's in the working, force went on strike, all right, and was like, we're not going back to work, so on and so forth, it would be an uproar in this country, man. All right, all hell will break loose in this country because why? Jake is the one who's pretty much the hands and feet of the society, man. While Esau gets to sit up at home and watch TV, while he has Jake busting their ass, making money for him. And that's the way the Heavenly Father set it up. But the time is going to come where it's going to be, a role reversal, man. And I'm not saying for every Jake to go on a strike, all right, and not go to work. You do that, it's really vanity because, what I'm saying, we're still going to be under captivity. It is what it is. Prophecies have to be fulfilled. But I'm saying, hypothetically, if that did happen, man, all hell would break loose, man. All right, and the time is going to come where more and more people are going to go on strike, man. All right.
They make it so that the guy making $200,000 can go and get a quick meal at McDonald's. They make it so that when his wife goes to the grocery store to do her weekly pickup, or in some cases, daily pickup, those stores are the shelves there are stocked. The stores are full. That is how this whole facade looks like it's continuing on. Right now, they're warning that minimum wage foundation class workers cannot even make rent because of the rental bidding wars that are happening, and the fact that we're going to continue to see a 30% increase in rent with no change to the income being brought in by these foundation class workers. So they're seeing higher rent, higher electricity, higher water, higher food, and higher goods costs.
And that's what you see, man. Inflation, hyperinflation, so on and so forth. All right, the devaluing of the US dollar. This is all biblical prophecy, man. All right. This is James, Slovakia. James chapter 5, verse 1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. All right, referring to the elite, man, of this world. Your riches are corrupted and your garments moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rest of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. All right, why does it say that their gold and silver is cankered and shall be a witness against them? Because you're seeing how this money system is failing, man. Because Esau, he's not truly managing the earth with the judgment of the Lord. And it says, it shall eat your flesh as with fire. Because these different nations, they're going to shoot missiles upon Babylon the Great, man. All right, this country is going to get shot up by ICBM nuclear missiles. Thus saith the Lord. Okay. And I get another scripture to back that up. This is Revelation chapter 17 and verse 16. And the 10 horns thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore and make her desolate, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire, man. All right, yeah, all right, because that's referring to, you got the NATO and the EU and all these different other countries too who have missiles. All right, they're going to shoot missiles upon Babylon as well. Verse 4, behold, the hire of the laborers which have reaped down your fields, which is of you, kept back by fraud. Okay, here it is. You know, they're working and they're laboring, all right, but they don't even have, you know, enough riches to make rent, man. Okay, and that's biblical prophecy, man. Because why? Esau, you got a fiat currency with this US dollar, and this money system is failing, and that's going to help usher in the MOTB, the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip. That's what you see the narrative being played out. Here it is. Many Americans are going to go without rent, going to go without food, so on and so forth. So what are they going to do? Okay, you need a place to stay. Come stay in this FEMA camp. You need food. We'll give you food and rations, but you got to take this chip, so on and so forth, man. You see the narrative. Esau pretty much, what he's doing, he's putting a squeeze on the society to be solely dependent on him, because that's a form of gaining power when someone is dependent on you. All right, because when they depend on you, all right, then pretty much they're going to do what you tell them to do because they depend on you. That's why the Lord said, woe unto them that trust in Egypt, man. All right, you know, because really this place is going to fail without the help of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Let me see something real quick. This Sirach Ecclesiastes 31:4 says, the poor laboreth in his poor estate, and when he leaveth off, he is still needy, man. It's right. Okay. And the scriptures talk about what? He that earneth wages to put him in a bag with holes, man. Because pretty much it's like you just, once you go to work, you pay what you have to pay, and then you got to go to work again. That's what they call living paycheck to paycheck, man. Damn near everybody in the society is living that way, man. All right. It's a rare thing when you're not. Verse 4, behold, the hire of the laborers which have reaped down your fields, which is kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. Right, so the Lord, he's hearing the cries of all these people crying out about your unjust dealings, man. All right, not just he's hearing the cry of the whole planet Earth, man. All right, and the common denominator is you, Esau. Because of you, the whole creation is groaning. All right. Well, you have a great part to do with it, so to speak. Proverbs 28:8. He that by usury and unjust gain increaseth his substance, he shall gather it from him that will pity the poor, man. That's right. All right. So you're gonna have to restore all these goods. All right.
We have reached that point in every society right before there are riots, chaos, protests, where you're pushing the envelope so far that it is about to rip. And that's where we're at today. New data published by the National Low Income Housing Coalition shows that there is not a single state in the country, not even a single county in the United States of America, where a minimum wage worker working a full 40-hour work week can afford rent for their family, at current market prices. In 93% of all counties across the USA, full-time minimum wage workers cannot even afford a studio or one-bedroom apartment. As the data comes in over new bidding wars, researchers warn that a home is affordable. This is their consideration. A home, so an apartment or a rental, is affordable if it requires workers to pay up to 30% of their monthly income or rent. Over that, and a worker cannot meet the other demands of remaining viable in society, those things that we just talked about. Buying electricity, paying for water. This is a...
All right. And then, of course, they got these bug out bags, advertisements,
Paying for food, keeping clothes on your back. You see, if you go into Walmart, McDonald's, Walgreens, wherever it might be that the foundation class is working this day, if they walk in there and they're in there in holey clothes and stinking and just not looking disheveled, guess what? They don't have a job anymore. So there's still upkeep there, even though they're put at the lowest rung on the ladder. There's still personal upkeep. And so when they can no longer remain a viable part of society, even in that class that everyone else wants them to clean the toilets for them, trust me, I have so much respect for them. If you've ever done that, I have respect for you, because that is a job that most of the population does not even want to consider, does not even want to take into their mind that you're cleaning the toilets of other human beings and still put at the bottom rung. Those people, the people who are cleaning those toilets, I feel should get paid a lot more than the cashier, because to be a cashier, what do? You're scanning objects and making sure nobody's, stuffing 12 packs down their bra. And so the rest of the people who are cleaning the toilets, cleaning the puke when some kid walks through, cleaning up the messes of all the other slobs that come through the store, they deserve more money, in my opinion, and they can't even pay for their rent at these new prices. This says without significant federal intervention, housing will collapse for millions and millions of renters. The enduring problem, according to the NLIHD president and CEO Diane Yentel in an emailed statement, the enduring problem of housing affordability requires bold investments in housing solutions, basically saying that it's broken. We had a post on a local Facebook marketplace. There was a post for Roadhouse Grill, I believe it's Roadhouse Grill, a new establishment. And they're saying, don't just come here for a job. Come here for your next career as a waiter and waitress. And I thought, well, maybe, I'm only new to Alabama by a couple of years. Maybe Alabama is one of those states that doesn't let the waiters and waitresses only get paid $2 and change, and then they have to make the rest up on tips. Looked it up? No, certainly Alabama waiters, waitresses, anybody who gets tips only has to be paid $2 and change per hour. The rest of their money they have to make up in tips. And I have surveyed all of my friends group, all of Kelly and our associations, and I've asked, if you do go out to a restaurant, are you tipping more or are you tipping less than you were in 2019 or 2018? And across the chart, really off the charts, everybody says they're tipping less, if barely at all, because they're still engaging in that, helping that local restaurant out. But they don't have that extra money to spend, whereas before they would be nice, kind with their money. The waiter or waitress did a good job, they're going to throw them $20, even though they only waited on half an hour. Those times are over. But we're in this breaking gap right now where the tension is pulled so tight on this anchor metal, it's about to snap. And when it does, it's all breaking loose from there. So a career, right? Okay. So what do you think these federal interventions are going to be? Let me know in the comment box. I had a good discussion with my middle brother last night, and we were talking about how California, other states, other areas, other countries are all rolling out in unison universal basic income, and what the outcome of that is going to be. You see, if the government starts to pay you continuous stimulus, they're going to continually allow inflation to go off the charts. So what is it going to do to the average person? All we're doing, because the top of the top are not going to take less money. The stockholders, the shareholders, the majority shareholders, they're not going to accept less millions of dollars per year. They're not going to say, okay, well, let's find an even ground where we can do these things. And there's so much, you can see the shift and anger in people because Jeff, or not Bezos, the other guy who just went up to space. Well, it turns out 90% of his development and ability to do that, what he's charging $28 million or $30 million for other people to partake in, was paid for by you, the taxpayer, using government money. He pays little to no taxes. He gets all of the money from grants, still flies around, goes to space. It's fun adventure time. Those people are not going to ever want an equilibrium because they make their ability to do these things on the backs of the foundation class workers. They still want their personal shopper to go into Walmart. And trust me, I have no hate, no anger towards the extremely wealthy. What I do have an anger towards is corruption and the idea that there's a difference in class between those people. Because, like I said, the person cleaning up feces at Walmart deserves a lot more of my respect. But not just the cashier, not just the shift manager, not just the store manager, but the people who are making tens of millions of dollars, who would never let the crumbs of someone else's, let's just say, excrement get underneath their manicured or polished fingernails. So what we're seeing right now is a huge break. And you just wait. You think the protests of last year were bad? You wait until you need to really consider your own security as you go to the store, because anger is that high.
And that's some Jacob Trouble stuff right there, man. All right. The time is going to come where people are going to be so desperate and so hungry that they're going to eat their own children. All right. They're going to put their own children to death and eat them because that's how hungry they're going to be, man. All right. This is Isaiah chapter 9, starting at verse 19. It says, through the wrath of the Lord Yahweh of hosts is the land darkened. All right. Why is that? Because this place is going to be blacked out with the ICBM nuclear missiles. All right. It says, and the people shall be as the fuel of the fire, meaning you people are going to be missile food, man. All right, because when you go into that word fuel, it means meat. So the missile's going to eat you people up like missile food. And it says, no man shall spare his brother. Yeah. Are you going to have family members coming against family members here in these last days, man? So on and so forth. Verse 20, and he shall snatch on the right hand and be hungry, and he shall eat on the left hand, and they shall not be satisfied. They shall eat every man the flesh of his own arm. Yeah, people are going to be turning back to cannibalism now, man. This is how crazy it's going to be. And like you said, you thought the protest of last year was bad. Hey, guess what? What was that? Uproar of the people, man. Okay. Get the scripture on that. All right. Second Ezra, chapter 9, and verse 1. He answered me and said, measure the time diligently in itself. When thou seest part of the signs past which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Right, earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, man. All right, let's go ahead and let's get into some more, okay? Because there was an earthquake that just happened a couple days. As a matter of fact, I think it was yesterday. Okay. Huge magnitude 7.0 earthquake strikes off the coast of Panama, man. All right. And 7.0 is a big earthquake, man. That's a big one. Okay. So here it is right here. All right. This is off End Times headlines, man. All right. So when this should be what? Earthquakes and upwards of the people in the world. That's how you know we're at the end, man. Yahushua also spoke of these prophecies as well. All right, going back to Matthew 24 and verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places, man. Okay, so that's the point of that right there. All these are the beginning of sorrows, man. So this is how you know that we are at the end. Okay, so I'll go ahead and drop that. All right, let's continue though. Paul, like my Yabash Shai. Let's continue.
What's going to happen is 10 million people, as the CDC announced a 1-month extension to the eviction moratorium. That ends this month. They said it will never, ever go up again. Somewhere around 10 million people are about to be evicted. Now, you're a foundation class worker. You're about to be evicted. You can't get a new home because you haven't paid rent on your old one, and so that eviction is going on your report. You try to get a new one. Well, they say, sure, we'll rent you, but you're going to have to pay first month, last month security deposit. Plus, we're going to have to show all these other things. You'll have to do all these other things. And on top of that, pay an extra 30% more in rent. How many toilet bowl cleaners do you think can do that? And so when they get mad, the whole world crumbles for everybody else because the stocks at the store go down. Everything else changes. You look at California, some areas of Texas, New York right now. What are those stores doing? They're closing at sundown because it's like the Wild West. They're closing at sundown because crime increases so much, just like Brazil. You go to Brazil, you go to Colombia, you go to these other countries, and all locals, they're all smiling, sitting at the street markets, vending their own, food service areas. They tell you, you better go inside at dark. And they tell you that you better go inside at dark because the world changes when that sun goes down.
And I was just the spirit because, a couple of days after I watched this video, and I actually forgot he even said this, but it was in my spirit. I was looking up stuff on Google. I was like, what if the purge actually happened? Because it is going to happen. The purge is going to happen, man. But it's not called the purge. It's really called Jacob's trouble, according to the Bible. And the guy's title of his video, is says it all. He says, I've never seen anything like this. And as we continue the video, you're going to hear him speak, all right, and say something spiritual. But as the scripture says, it's a time of trouble the world has never seen before, man. All right, and they said, and when I was doing my research, like if the purge actually happened before or whatever, they said pretty much that Brazil had a form of a purge, so to speak, and it wasn't necessarily an organized thing. All right, but that's just the way things went down, man. So pretty much everything that this guy is saying right now about, Brazil, which is the tribe of Asher, all right, Ashar in the Hebrew meaning happy, all right, it's a spiritual that the guy said that they were happy too. But hey, he said once the sun go down, it's different. It's a different story. It's going to be the same way on the streets of America, man. All right, and you're seeing what's happening around South Africa. All right, you're seeing what's happening around the world with these upwards of the people, a lot of people dying, chaos. This is all coming to the streets of America, man. All right. Or what's happening in Cuba, that's all coming to America.
And that's the same thing that we're going to start experiencing in the United States of America when the world literally changes when the sun goes down. So if you and your family have any way to get ready for this, I want you to put it in the comment box. If you have any way that you're helping other people, we've had people email.
And the only way to truly prepare for these times, man, is to serve Yahweh B'Shem El Shai. As it says in Isaiah 33:6, wisdom and knowledge shall be this to be my time, and strength and strength and salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure, man. Roughly paraphrasing. Okay. Salaki, I'm trying to skip this freaking ad, bro. Man. Salaki. The Wadi Abashman stuff. Bear with me, Baba Kusha.
In exchange for their help, and we've married those people up. I don't say marry as in a relationship term, but we have connected those people so that people who need rent and are able-bodied and willing to work are going to help other people. Now, it doesn't happen often, and it takes a lot of Kelly's effort and my effort to do what we can to vet these people out or to get them background checked and all of these other things that are necessary. Trust me, if you are thinking about taking someone into your home, run a background check. You have to. It's just, that's what you need to do. You need to make sure that they're not a criminal. You need to make sure, or if they are, they haven't been caught yet, of course, because the best criminals don't get caught. But you need to make.
Yep, see, and that's sleazy for you right there.
Make sure that they are not.
But every criminal gets caught, man, because no criminal can escape the eyes of Yahweh B'Shem El Shai. All right?
Habitually causing problems. They're not habitually having their own problems like drug addiction or alcohol addiction, things like that, that are getting them into trouble. You need to do these things if you're going to enter into that type of agreement. And then, most of all, you need to go to a lawyer, and you need to have a lawyer draw up a right to evict or a right to have that person pushed out of the house, have law enforcement come in, make it a weekly rental in exchange for goods. That means at most you're going to have to give them just a couple of days notice to leave. That's the type of, if you can go, let me put it this way, you'll have a lot of lawyers tell you, well, you can't really do that. You'll have other ones who will draw it up on the spot, because let's face it, if you can go on a reality TV show and they can literally sign your life away, where you tell them, if the course that you've put out for me in any way takes a life, well, it's not your fault, even though, yes, you built the course. Yes, you made it slippery. Yes, you put the, hard daggers at the bottom. Yes, you, put the sharks in the water. Yes, you electrified the water, whatever. It's not your fault. If you can literally write your life away by signing a signature, then you can have the right to evict a person by having them agree to that contract. Do these things to save your family and to save yourself. Look out for the foundation class, guys. There's a huge change coming, a time when their anger boils up to the top and it starts to be an anger that can be acted upon, a time of desperation where they can't find new places to rent. This is very dangerous. When they can't find a place to rent, when they can't afford food, they are going to go and get food. We are going to see new protests, new unrest, and new hardship in the United States of America. It's a time unlike any that we have lived through before.
And that right there goes to show you what? Jacob's trouble, man. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 12 and verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as was never since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. And that's referring to the elect, man. Abaratza, we be a part of that number. But it said Michael, the archangel, is going to have to stand up. Michael, the archangel, is the archangel of war, man. So Jacob's trouble is going to be a time of war. Okay? The time of trouble that the world has never seen before, man. You have to understand how serious that is. Okay? These upcoming times, there is nothing like it before, man. All hell is getting ready to break loose, and that's the judgment of the Lord. Jeremiah chapter 30, starting at verse 5. For thus saith the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling and of fear and not of peace. And that's what you're going to be hearing on the regular during the times of Jacob's trouble. Verse 6, ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. All right. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it, man. All right. That's right. Referring to the elect. The elect going to be saved out of these upcoming times. But notice how he said, pay attention to the foundation class. He's pretty much saying, pay attention to these Israelites, man. Pay attention to these so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Because why? Those are the foundation class, man. Those are the hands and feet of the society, so to speak. All right, those are the ones doing all the dirty work while Esau's getting paid to sit on his couch, man. This is Isaiah 51 and verse 20. Or I start at verse 21. Therefore hear now this, thou afflicted and drunken, but not with wine. Thus saith thy Lord, the Lord Yahweh, thy power, that pleaded the cause of his people. Behold, I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury, and thou shalt no more drink it again. So here it is. We're drinking the cup of the Lord's fury. All right, but our iniquity is soon to be accomplished. Lord is turning back our captivity. All right, as you can see. Okay, that these are the part of the signs that the Lord is turning back our captivity. All right, we're at the end. But what does it say right here? It says, but I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee, which have said to thy soul, bow down that we may go over. And thou hast laid thy body as the ground. The foundation workers, where do you lay your foundation? On the ground. And as the street to them that went over, man. Yeah, they stepped on us, man. Okay? So he's saying, look, there's going to come a time where once they get angry, it's going to be an anger acted upon. And once Jig gets desperate, pretty much he's like, hey, shit, you know, all hell's about to break loose. So really, he's over here trying to please the poor, say how, you know, ones cleaning toilets should get paid more money. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with them getting paid more money, but that's all him trying to seek to please the poor, man. He doesn't give a shit about a Jake, man. All right. Now, you know, he could be a Jake. All right. I don't want to completely X him out, but I personally believe he's an Edomite. Nonetheless, though, regardless if Jake get paid extra to clean a toilet bowl or not, this country is still going to be destroyed. This is Isaiah chapter 19, starting at verse 17. It says, and the land of Judah, actually, I'll start at verse 14. It's Isaiah 19, starting at verse 14. Okay. It says, the Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and hath caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Yeah. All right. This is the wine of Babylon, the city of confusion. And this place does have a perverse spirit. Here it is. They're getting ready to release emojis of a pregnant man. Okay. And as like that scripture said, you know, wherefore I do see every man with his hands on his loins like a woman in travail. You know, if you're paraphrasing. Now asking now and see whether a man doth travail with child. You know, hey, that's spiritual, because these devils want to release a wicked ass emoji of a pregnant man in September, man. These are the times we're coming into. This place has to be destroyed, man. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. Going to what? A lack of jobs. Lack of jobs means lack of money. Lack of money means lack of resource. Lack of resource means lack of quality of lifestyle. And that is going to get desperate. Okay, there's a saying, people have to lose, they lose it. Or basically when people lose everything they have, they lose it, man. Pretty much, you know. And Joker said that too. He said, look, I'm just ahead of the curve. He said, you know, people think I'm crazy. I'm just ahead of the curve. See, these people, they try to paint themselves to be civilized, all right? But pretty much when all hell breaks loose, they're going to be eating each other, all right? And that's exactly what's going to be coming, man. That was in the movie The Dark Knight, all right, with the Joker, with Heath Ledger, all right, when Batman was interrogating the Joker, man. All right, now it says, it says, in that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord Yahweh of hosts, which he shaketh over it. That's the Lord rebuking this place, man. He's rebuking this place. He's shaking his hand, rebuking it. All right, he's pretty much cursing out Babylon. All right, and a lot of these people, these people are going to be afraid because all hell about to start breaking loose in this place, man. Verse 17, it said, the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. Everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid of himself because of the counsel of the Lord of hosts, which he hath determined against it. Meaning what? That a lot of Jakes are going to start rising up, man. All right, it says the land of Judah is going to be a terror unto Egypt. Because why? Judah being the so-called Negroes, which is the head tribe, but as well the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, all three, kingdoms, starting first and foremost with the head tribe, Judah. All right, is going to start off these racial riots, these race tensions, man. Probably because of a situation like this where they can't eat, they can't work, so on and so forth. So they're just like, fuck it. You know, what else can we really do? So Judah's going to set it off, man. And by Judah setting it off, all the rest of the tribes are going to follow in suit. All right, this is Zechariah chapter 9, verse 13. When I have bent Judah for me, filled the bow with Ephraim, and raised up thy sons, O Zion, against thy sons, O Greece, and made thee as a sword of a mighty man. Yeah, so it's like the same thing with a bow and arrow. Judah is the bow, Ephraim is the arrow. And what does a bow do with the arrow? Once you pull the bow back and you let it go, that arrow is gonna shoot off, man. So Judah is gonna kick it off, so to speak, and Ephraim's gonna keep it moving forward, man. With these racial tensions and stuff like that, man. And you had a form of that last year in 2020 with the Black Lives Matter. You would start to see that a lot of Judah was getting roused up, you know, vandalizing certain businesses and stuff like that. And then what? You saw Northern Kingdom coming along with Jake, you know, with Judah. All right. Well, mainly the one vandalizing businesses was Esau. Main thing Jake was doing was probably stealing some shoes or some shit, stealing some clothes. But Esau ass was the one spray painting, you know, most of the time setting places on fire, you know, stuff like that. Most Jake was doing was just, you know, stealing clothes and stuff like that. Not saying that what they were doing was okay, but that just goes to show you the difference of our people, man. All right. And it says, what? Raise up thy sons, O Zion, against thy sons, O Greece, and made thee as the sword of a mighty man. You're going to see a lot of black versus white, you know, brown versus white, so to speak. Black and brown versus white, so to speak, man. You're going to see a lot of that going on here today, man. Just like in the movie The Purge.
But let's get through it together. Let's give each other hope and a way to get through it. Even if we're dollar store preppers, even if we can only afford to give somebody dollar store goods, let's do it so that we can all push through this crisis as one. From my family to yours, please stay safe, remain vigilant, and keep watch.
All right, there's that. But as the scriptures say, Micah 2:10, arise and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with a sword destruction, man. All right, so hey, this place is polluted. It's not. This place you can't get through this, man. This destruction is without remedy. Okay, Jeremiah, what's that? Jeremiah 50, starting at verse 8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go on everyone into his own country, for her judgment reaches unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies, man. Yeah, Babylon cannot be healed. There's no return for this place, man. That's why these different nations who came here to make money, all right, they're going to go back to their own countries, man, because they're going to see how this place is failing. All right. It says, Jeremiah 46, starting at verse 11. Go up into Gilead and take balm, O virgin, the daughter of Egypt. In vain shalt thou use many medicines, for thou shalt not be cured, man. This place cannot be cured, man. Hey, shalom, brother, shalom, 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 yabashmashai brakatah, shalom. Hey, that's right. Okay. So that's what you see coming. Now I got some more stuff pulled up through the spirit. What I wanted to touch on. You know, just a couple more things. Abarazah. Okay, and these are all just current events. All right, this is something that was posted, and low key when you look at it right here, this is low key 144, 441. You know, spirit. All right, but nonetheless, it says map of reported UFO sightings around the world. They sure love the U.S. All right. Now you have to understand that was thus the reports reported. Okay. But you got to think about it. You know, how much more that was off camera, so to speak. You know, the ones that weren't reported. You know, plenty more. But notice how it said what? They sure love the U.S. Really, they hate the U.S. Okay, and Esau knows that. That's why he's trying to go start up a space force. But it's biblical prophecy that they quote unquote love the U.S. because why? This is Zechariah chapter 5, starting at verse 1. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. What is a flying roll? A chariot, a so-called UFO, man. What you people know as a so-called UFO. Those are the chariots, all right, of the Bible, all right? Those are the chariots of the Heavenly Father, man. Okay? And they're coming back to do some damage to this place, man. Isaiah 6 tells you that. Right? The Lord comes with chariots and with fire. All right, to render his anger with fury and his rebukes with flames of fire, man. For by fire and by the sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, man. And the scriptures talk about what? The slain of the Lord shall be many, man. All right. That's the flying roll. Okay, now it says, and he said unto me, what seest thou? I answered, I see a flying roll. Okay. It says, the length thereof is 20 cubits and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. And I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. What's the house of the thief? Babylon the Great, man. America. That's the house of the thief, man. Because Esau stole this land. Okay? And he stole the people who built up this place. Okay? It says, and he's still stealing today. All right? So Esau, he's just a thief, man. says, I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name. And it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. And Esau does swear falsely by the Lord's name, because here it is, they'll say, oh, in God we trust, God bless America, but yet they promote all types of folly, man. And they're really against the Most High, man. This place is against the Most High. All right. And I want to show something real quick. All right. Just a quick video, Lord willing, of that flying roll. If the Lord allows. Call light like Yabash Melshad 10:44 on the clock, man. And Abrazah, we be a part of the number, man. Right now, I'll show this video. But notice how he said what? He's going to bring it into the house of the thief, man. That is biblical prophecy. All right? The house of the thief representing America, man. Now, let me go ahead and show this clip, Lord will. All right. Bear with me, Baba Shah. This was a couple weeks back. All right.
Yo, hold up. I know I ain't tripping though.
You can see it moving too. You see it go left, and then you see it eventually just disappear.
Whoa.
I couldn't even see it with my naked eye anymore. And at first I was like, what is that? Because I seen just some like white thing moving in the sky, and I'm like, what the hell? I was like, is that a chariot? I was like, what? And then once I recorded it, I was like, but I didn't see it move till after the video cut out, till I looked back at it later. And then I asked the brother, I was like, you think this is a chariot? But I was like, yeah, that's a chariot. I was like, man, that's a spirit, because I thought it was a chariot too. I'll play it one more time, Lord willing.
Yo, hold up. I know I ain't tripping though.
You see it move to the left right here. You see it move to the left. Call like much outside. And then it starts to fade away.
I can't even see.
That's that flying roll, man. And that's a part of the end times that we're in, man. That's a part of biblical prophecy, brothers. The chariots. Okay? These are the times that we're in. Through the spirit. And I got some more. I'll show another clip, Lord willing. Show another one. I'm Baratazah. The Lord allows. But yeah, that's the point with that one right there. Go close that one down. But Esau, man, hey, he's up for great things coming his way, and I'm talking about great in judgment. Okay, I'll be able to play this clip if the Lord allows. See if I can show it on my phone. You can see the UFO shape of that chariot, man. Salaki, it's not as steady because when I was recording it, my hands kept shaking. But you can see the UFO shape. That's that flying roll, man. Salakia. Let me see if I can, if the Lord allows, if I can possibly, show it on the screen. I'll get a quick precept though. In the meantime, as you can see, the colors of the ship, it was like rainbow color. All right, this is Revelation chapter 10 and verse 1. And I saw another mighty angel come from heaven, with the cloud, because the chariots take on the form of a cloud. All right. But it says what? It says, and a rainbow was upon his head, and his face was as it were the sun, and his feet as pillars of fire. And that's referring to the chariots, man. It says a rainbow was upon his head, because the chariots could have rainbow colors. They shoot off all types of colors and lights, man. All right.
Right.
This is it right here. But you can see the UFO shape of it, You can see the windows in certain, shots. You can see the windows of it. I'll try to play it in slow-mo, spirit allows. You saw that. You can see it right there. You saw the windows on the bottom. You see it's changing colors. Hey, man, you can't make this stuff up. Can't make this stuff up, man. I'm trying to play it as slow as possible, but, when it's moving fast, it's harder to catch the details. All right, but there it goes, man. There it is. I'm trying to focus back on it. Give me 1 second. There it goes right there. That's the chariot. I'm trying to play it in slow-mo so you can catch a good glimpse. See how bright that thing is, man? Face as it were the sun, That's a chariot right there, man. And you're going to see a lot more of that, all right? You're going to see a lot more so-called UFO sightings. Because that's biblical prophecy right there, man. Scripture talk about how Yahushua is coming back with clouds. So I just wanted to show that real quick. All right, these are part of the current events of the times, man. These are the signs of the times. All right? And then you have another thing right here. It says, Tulsi Gabbard warns that Biden is moving U.S. toward a nuclear war with Russia, man. A nuclear war with Russia is also biblical prophecy. Okay? There's many different scriptures to back this up. I'll go ahead and get a couple, Lord willing. This is Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse Jeremiah 51, starting at verse 27. Say ye up a standard in the land, blow the trumpet among the nations, prepare the nations against her, call together against her the kingdoms of Ararat, Mini, Ashkenaz, appoint a captain against her, cause her horses to come up as the rough caterpillars. All right, and the Ararat is the nation of Turkey, and Turkey and Russia are doing a lot of backdoor deals against America and NATO. All right. It says Mini, which Mini represents the Armenians, all right, which you have with some Elam mixed in with them. Okay, and then where it says Ashkenaz are those Slavic countries, the so-called USSR, man. All right, and Russia would be a part of that. And when you go down further, it says what? Prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes. All right, and the Medes really go back to the Persians. So I could go back to the Japhetic people, but the Russians inhabit that land. So they're the modern day Medes spiritually. And you know what's spiritual about it is the Medes, all right, they had the best arrows. Same thing with Russia. They got the best nuclear capability, man. All right, it says the captains thereof and the rulers thereof and all the land of his dominion and all the land shall tremble in sorrow, for every purpose of the Lord shall be performed against Babylon to make the land of Babylon a desolation without inhabitant, man. Yeah, because that's the capability of nuclear missiles, man. It can make the whole land desolate without inhabitant. Because more than one ICBM nuclear missile is going to be shot off upon Babylon the Great. All right, let's see if I get another one. I'll go to Ezekiel 38, Lord willing. Ezekiel chapter 38. And verse start from the top. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog and Magog, and the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. All right, and this is referring to Russia, Gog and Magog. And thus saith the Lord Yahweh power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and will bring thee forth, and all thine army, and horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even with a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, and all of them with shield and helmet. All right, so all these different nations, they're going to come against America and shoot missiles upon America. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togomar of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. All right, so all these different nations, along with Russia, are going to come up against Babylon the Great, man. All right. And they're going to shoot missiles against this place. Okay, it says, Be thou prepared for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Because Russia, they're going to be a leader to these nations. All right, they're going to help succor these different nations. All right, these nations need military, resources, so on and so forth. Russia's going to be there to help them. That's them being a guard unto them, as the scriptures say. Okay. It says, After many days thou shalt be visited in the latter years. Thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste, but is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. Verse 9, Thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land, thou and all thy bands, and many people with thee. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, power. It shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. Because the Lord, he's going to put it in the Russians' minds to shoot missiles against Babylon the Great, man. All right, that's him putting that evil thought in their mind. It tells you in Proverbs 21 and verse 1, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord Yahweh, as the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. So the Lord, he's the one putting that evil thought in their mind. Okay. Continuing on, it says, And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages, which is America. Why is America unwalled? Because they're at rest. This place is dwelling at ease. Right now, Babylon has little cares in the world, so to speak, But this place is about it. All hell is getting ready to break loose in this place. Right now, people think shit is sweet in this country. This place is going to go out for forever. But all hell is getting ready to break loose in this place. And unwalled villages, because their missile defense system is going to be outdated in that day. All right? It says, I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates, to take a spoil, to take a prey, to turn thine hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations which have gotten cattle and goods, and that dwell in the midst of the land. Okay, yeah. The scriptures also talk about what? That the Lord is going to send spoilers upon Babylon. That's Russia and them other nations sending missiles off to this place. All right. This is Isaiah 13, starting at verse 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. Okay. What's their bows? Their bows represent the silos for the missiles, and the missiles are the arrows. Okay. It says that the Lord is going to stir up the Medes against them. Who's the Medes? The modern day Russians, man. Okay. He's going to stir up that old, Mother Russia spirit back in them, man. And they're going to shoot missiles upon this place. This is Jeremiah 51 and verse let's see. This is Jeremiah 51 and 11. Make bright the arrows, gather the shields, for the Lord hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes. For his device is against Babylon to destroy it, because of the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple. Oh, notice how it brought out arrows again, man. Because the arrows are the nuclear missiles, man. That's the biblical code word for nuclear missile. All right, this is 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, And verse 13, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. That's right. These arrows that are going to be shot from intercontinental. All right. That's why they're called ICBM nuclear missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles. All right. Pretty much they're going to go from continent to continent, man. The arrows are going to be shot into the ends of the world. All right. It says, behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plague shall be sent upon earth and shall not return again, man. That's the point on that right there. Okay? So, there it is right there. Okay, it says former Hawaii Democrat Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard is warning that the Biden administration's policies could potentially lead the U.S. into a nuclear war with Russia, resulting in suffering beyond comprehensions, hundreds of millions of people dying, and the end of the world as we know it. Yeah, and that is the end of Esau's world. Nuclear missiles, man. That's how Esau's world's going to go out. That's why the Lord said, what? He had prepared the instruments of death, man. The missiles are instruments of death. Look what she said. Hundreds of millions of people dying. All right. And now you can go into this on end time headlines. All right. I'll put it in the I'll put it in the comment section. That's the point right there. Okay. So we go ahead and drop that. Now I'm going to get this next thing. Okay. When I get this, here it is. You see this thing right here. It says round 2. Los Angeles has begun shutting down restaurants over C-19 fears. So what you're seeing now, you're seeing waves of a second lockdown. All right, a second lockdown will be coming to the streets of America, and this time is going to be way more detrimental than the first one, man. Okay, so that's something I just wanted to show right there, man. These are the draconian measures. Because why? Esau, he's coming down with that great wrath. Because why? He knoweth that he hath but a short time, man. All right? These devils want to hurry up and set up their new world order, man. They see this place failing. They see the way the world is. They see the resources becoming finite, because he's in rulership. But when Yahweh Shem Shai blesses this place back with righteousness, the earth is going to yield her strength again. It's going to be in plentiness. So right now they want to hurry up and set up their new world order. And a part of that new world order is depopulation. And a part of that depopulation agenda are these different famines and pestilences and the swords that they have in place. All these different legislations they have set up behind the scenes to come roll. All right. Oh, look at it right here. Rumors of war. A coming war with China may be inevitable. And that's definitely going to happen. China's definitely going to shoot missiles upon Babylon the Great. Okay. Salakia. Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. All right. There goes that one right there. You go ahead and drop that. And these are just a couple things that I want to just bring to the forefront. And, I wasn't planning on going too deep into the articles. That's the Spirit had me do it. But these are things that, need to be brought out to the forefront, man. All right, here it is right here. It says more and more businesses are now requiring proof of vaccination upon entry. All right. No proof of vaccine, no entry without a mask is a new policy some Sacramento businesses are adopting for safety reasons as concern over the Delta variant increases. Business owners said that this is also about staying open. Okay. So what is that going to show you? More draconian legislations being measured. All right, this is Esau coming down with that great wrath and him declaring those unrighteous decrees, man. More draconian legislations, man, to the point where they're gonna be like, no chip, no entry, no chip, no food, no chip, no water. But for the elect, if you don't, the elect are gonna have Yahweh Shema Shai to sustain them in these times. But for the wicked, at 2/3, all right. They're finished, So that's that right there. Let's see. All right, there goes that. I want to show maybe one more thing. Abaratazah, call Laim Lai Bashmashai. Call Laim Lai Bashmashai. All right, here's this one right here. It says LA Times says it's time to get tough on C19 Maxine invaders, man. And ultimately, who was that? That's the brothers, you know. So pretty much, what's that going to show you? Esau, he's getting ready to roll. He's getting ready to roll. And you see that they're trying to set the separation between those who want to take the jab and those who don't want to. Well, guess what, man? All right. That's him coming down with that great rap. That's him shooting in secret at the perfect, man. As it says in Psalm 64. I'll get the scripture real quick. Psalms chapter 64, verse 1. Hear my voice, O Yahweh Bashmi Shai, in my prayer. Preserve my life from the fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. All right. This is the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, man. These are the uprisings of the workers of iniquity, man. It says, who whet their tongue like as a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, man. Right. What's those bitter words? These draconian legislations that they keep sending out. That they may shoot in secret at the perfect. This is them trying to shoot in secret at the perfect, man. Which is the nation of Israel, first and foremost, beginning with the elect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in the evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? All right. That's them laying snares privily, man. You know, I get another one. Isaiah 10:1, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right of the poor from of my people, that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless, man. That's right. So that's them writing them unrighteous decrees, man. Okay. Also, Revelation, the 13th chapter. What does it tell you? Revelation 13 and verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns and spake. He had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. So that's America. America had the two horns like a lamb. You know, just try to start off like a God-fearing nation, so to speak. But it's speaking as a dragon. And the scriptures say what? Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. So that's really what's in this nation's mind. Dragon-like tendencies, man. Draconian-like measures. But they try to play it off like they're a God-fearing nation. And those two horns like a lamb represent the two main, faction parties, political parties, which is the Democrats and the Republicans, the modern-day patricians and the plebeians, so to speak. So that's just a little something that I wanted to touch on through the spirit. All right. I know this video has gone on long enough. May Yahweh Shai, Bashma Kagadash, Barakatham, to the sincere brothers and sisters listening and learning with all truth and sincerity. Main message at hand, repent. You obviously see the signs of the times that are at hand. All right, Yahweh Shai is going to make a speedy riddance of this place, man. So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Basham Yahweh Shai, Bashma Kagadash. Double honors to those apostles, great Milson, that were well. Peace and blessings to the elect of Israel. Shalom and above all.